Hello traders, my name is Nico Premutico. I'm from 7 Points Capital, and this is my first video I will be making. I've been trading for about a year now here at 7 Points Capital. No prior trading experience, but I've learned a ton, and in the last couple of months, things have started to really pick up for me in particular. Um, so I'm going to walk you through a couple of the trades I had today. We started off with this is just my general layout, by the way. I got the SPY chart up here, which is a little messy on the one, so I usually put up a 2 minute to filter out some noise. XLE to watch how the energy markets are trading, and GDX, which is a gold ETF. So I'm going to walk you through three different stocks I was trading today and had some success in. Let's start off with Apple, which had some news this morning that I think it was iPhone 10 demand is higher than anticipated. And so I've been watching the stock obviously for a long time, being that it's Apple and everybody always has a general sense of where it is. But I knew that when I was trading on Friday, the Qs basically, which track technology stocks, had a really strong day on Friday. This is Friday, right here, basically up $2 or $3, and all the tech stocks were incredibly strong. Hence, you get Apple here with a strong daily candle. Let's see if I can zoom in on that for you. Strong daily candle, and then it's with all-time highs sitting right here at 164.94. So that was the big number to watch, and I'm watching it in the morning, and it's gapped up a little bit. Here we go. Give you guys full screen. Um, it's gapped up a little bit, opening around 163, 164, and it just shoots right up to all-time highs. 164.94 is about here. It was just too fast on the open for me to get involved, so I just said, all right, let's see if it holds above. I'll look for a pullback to get in, and this level right here is going to be really important because as I showed you on the daily, 164.94. That's the high. So basically, I got what I wanted here. Opened up very strong. Not too much volume here for some reversal action. Huge green bars on the way up, here and here, and then it starts to die down on the pullback, and then you get a nice little two huge candles here. That's sort of signaled to me a little bit of a reversal. So I put on, basically I like to scale into trades, not go all in with my biggest size at once. So put on half right here once I saw this green bar form, and then I put on another half right here. So stop down all the way down here has to stay below that significant level of 164.94. I think I picked this red candle. This is a misprint. It's the low here was 164. I think I put a 164.82. I might have, yeah. I think it was 164.80. So if it came back through that all-time high, it wasn't going to stick around for long. So basically what happened was it starts grinding up right away. We get up here near, and we're basically, you got an ascending triangle here, you got your base of your triangle, and then let me see if I can draw this in. So yeah, that's the base of your triangle, and this is the triangle here. So basically it's pushing up against this level here, about 166.30. I see it kind of, we're getting some good volume on the way up here, and then it starts to stall out a little bit right at the highs, some consolidation. So I put on another tier. I think I added like 25% of my overall position, and we basically had liftoff from there on. So basically what happened was keeps going up, basically straight up. No reason to panic at all until for about, let's see, what was this, 10:04 to 10:30. So basically, for half an hour, things grinding straight up. I'm anticipating a big pullback the whole time because this is a $165 stock. I'm definitely expecting some type of pullback of $1, if not $2 or more. So, and that's really what I'm trying to not get caught up in here, because at the time I was only, let's see, my average price was about 165.50, and around here I was about $2 in the money. I was not willing to let this come back more and pull all the way back down to here. Would have taken me, would have probably signaled some major reversal sign, and was something I was almost anticipating. So let's see here, slow grind up, and then we got to start getting a little more volume. Let's switch to the 5 here. So where I executed this almost perfectly, what would have been ideal. So basically we had here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight green bars. And when I saw this eighth one right here, it, when I, right before this bar closed, this 5-minute bar, it became a little, it looked a little bit like a doji and signaled a little bit of reversal to me. So I took half here above 167. I think it was about 167.15 was when I got in. Not a great price, but I've got out. Not a great price, but whatever. And then I left the rest on, trailing it under the previous 5-minute bar, just thinking I'm going to let this thing go as long as it wants. And so we got a big bar here on the 4th most volume of the day for the 5-minute, and then a red candle on even more volume. That's a sign of reversal. Once this bar was finished, I took the rest. Ended up just coming down and chopping around for the rest of the day, but it's definitely something that could be on this, making another move up tomorrow. I knew I was going to be, I was quicker than I would have liked to get out on that first lot, but when you look at the daily and you got this thing up almost $10 in 2 days, that's a pretty strong move, and to me looked a little bit extended. Ideally I wanted to get onto the short side, but I just couldn't. I just didn't. It happened so fast here. It was already. I mean, yeah, in 15 minutes we were down back $2 or almost $1. But that was a good trade in the morning. Gave me a nice P&L cushion to work with for the rest of the day, which I then used to the next stock, which is JCPenney. So JCPenney has had a terrible earnings announced on Friday, gapped down I think almost 30%, and basically rallied the entire day. Let me switch to the 15 minutes so I can show you. Yeah, so here we go. This is Friday, opens down, and then opens down and just rallies all day, closes pretty close to the highs. And so today, with the market being down a little bit, this was a good one to have on your eyes. This maybe had an overextended down move, maybe look at the short side. So while I was in the Apple trade, I was a little focused on that. Kind of missed this. It's not quite too much of a setup here. A little bit of a triangle with your base here and, coming down. But not a great entry there. And so what I'm waiting for basically is some consolidation and targeting the low of Friday, which was 276. So this trade was a little, I don't want to say easier, but it was definitely less wild than the Apple trade where I had, stock moving 30-40 cents every second. But so we were stuck here in a 95 bid, 96 offer, and the offer just kept getting bigger and bigger, and the bid was eating up shares and not really moving. There were a couple times. So I was watching it here. It starts consolidating, and then on this green bar, 557,000. You'll see in the volume, basically traded on the offer, trying to get it to flip up. The offer did not budge at all, and that let me know that all right, when the bid starts getting hit, it's going to go. And my target, we're at 95 here. I had a target about 20 cents away, but realistically, knew it wasn't going to go down one shot. There's probably going to be some pullbacks in there. So what I did was started selling to any buyers I could find. There was about Jesus, I want to say 200,000 shares on the bid and offer. It got up to 400,000 on the offer at one point, so you could really do as much size as you wanted in this thing and basically get out at any cent you wanted to. So let me give you the 5 minutes so it's a little cleaner. So basically, the bid goes right through, and usually, and since I'm a beginning trader, I've noticed a lot of times I've shaken myself out of these type of positions where it goes down and then it comes back a cent on a ton of volume. Here you'll see that this green volume bar is 662,000 shares that basically sent the stock up. And when you have sort of, I was making myself as uncomfortable as I could with the amount of shares I put on, without, affecting the trade. It's been really hard for me to stay in these trades, seeing that I've only been doing this for about a year. But this one finally flips back. I told myself I wasn't going to kill anything. I was just going to let it work. Had a stop above here. Had a good price in here. And it basically just starts going down. There's a huge offer chasing it down all the way. Never flips back from 95 to 85, 10 straight cents before it flips once. Which here it actually flipped up twice on 780,000 shares. That's pretty significant. I took half on the first flip, and then it came back down, and I actually tried to scale back into my core position, which I had over here, which didn't work, and I killed half on the first flip, half on the second. But overall, I was risking about 2 cents, made 10, 9.5, so I made about 4 or 5 times what I was risking on that trade. That was a really good one. Got back in a little, saw that this nice little range was developing and it couldn't quite make it back to the top of this 4-cent range we were in. So I scaled in a little here, a little more here, waiting to really scale in on I was looking for another consolidation around 85 to the 76 level. It ended up going pretty quick, and I actually couldn't get all the shares I wanted to. So came down, and then went on the first flip up. I killed most of it. I didn't have nearly. I had about a third on this move, is what I had on this move. But this was a really good trade. I like these low price stocks with huge bids and huge offers, where you can size in and you can your risk is a pretty definite amount here, 1-2 cents, maybe half a cent if you're lucky. And sometimes you can get 10-20 cents, and those are the biggest. Sometimes for me, those will be the biggest trades. But so those Apple and JCPenney, two incredibly different stocks that were both very nice to me in the morning. So then, once the action started dying down over there, I moved over to AMD, which has just been bombarded since earnings, which was on the 25th. Gap down huge, $2, and then just kept going down. It rallied here when the Qs that I previously mentioned were rallying, so it was closed strong, but then opened today really weak, due to the market being down. And so I didn't see much of a setup in here, although you could say this was a nice sort of another triangle here, but it wasn't as clean to me. So what I was watching here was a level that we didn't actually get to. Well, there was the 1120 level, but I didn't see that level as being too significant. What I wanted to see was the 1056 level, 1055. And so what I did was, even though we didn't quite get there today, as you'll see, the lowest we got was 1065 before the stock actually became short sale restricted, and a huge bid came in, and a ferocious buyer came in, but we'll get to that later. But what I saw here was at 1105. So here we have our nice full complete triangle here. It's down to here. I'm not the best at my computer art, but here it is. So this is the low of the day for about the first 2-3 hours of the day, and here it gets rejected, and I'm assuming shakes a lot of the people out who are getting short in here. but cannot make it back to this initial high here of 27. So this 1108 range became pretty significant. And so what I saw was a fail, was basically another lower high here, and then we went. I couldn't actually. I got put on one tier here. Wanted to get up to 3 or 4 tiers, but got one tier here, and then it went right through the lows really quickly and came up and failed the retest of the lows of the base of this triangle, which is one of, I think, my strongest setups here. And so basically what happened here was a couple factors. We were hanging out down here, consolidating at 1104, failed the retest. Then we're hanging out at $11, and I put another tier on here and a third here, and it basically just dropped 10 straight cents or so, actually more like 15. Took off about half the position of what I put on here and here, left the core here, and then we got. I got shaken out here on this V bottom. Big mistake. Should have kept the stop at. Really should have kept it at 11. If I'd have kept it at 11, I would have been in it all day. But I ended up taking, I think, about like my average price take was was in the 80 something. Average price in was 11. I made about 20 cents. And then I basically watched it. Didn't see too much of any setups in here, but so this was kind of significant for me because right here I was watching it and I knew that 1064 was exactly 10% down for the stock when it comes short sale restricted and you can't hit the bid anymore. And something with the level 2 just completely changed. It became much more thick, and there was basically ferocious buying all afternoon. Got long in this little tiny consolidation, and then this one. So when it's short sale restricted and you're playing with the level 2, you really can't get too aggressive. I would basically go for a pop of about 5 cents and take it up there. That was basically all I was going for. No home runs. I know that the stock isn't going to go all the way back to its highs when the market. Let's see what the market was doing at this time. Yeah, basically nothing. Just chopping around sideways. So anything I can get in AMD was well worth it. And then on the close, there we go. So on the close, we had this nice little consolidation, and then basically another sort of mini ascending triangle, but this was all a tape read here. The offer was this 85 offer, just kept holding, and this 85 level just kept rejecting. Every time it would touch, it would slam back down. First it would slam down 5 cents, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And so here, once that 85 offer started to get hit really hard, I scaled in and hit a pretty big size, got this first pop, covered some, and then covered some into the rest here, and then whatever was left over I covered on this massive red candle. So those were the 3 big trades of the day. More longer moves in the morning when we have stuff moving more, and then it switched more into size and tape reading once the market started chopping around and it was more about reading buyers and sellers. So thank you guys a lot. Look forward to doing these again. Please leave us some feedback. Any feedback is good feedback. Thanks a lot.